up, everybody? Thank you for anyone that joins. Please refrain from asking any bowling ball questions or whatever, especially for the benefit of those watching later that are curious about what's going on with the memberships and whatever. I wanted to answer questions that you might have before you just give some bowling guy on the internet money. So I thought that I would put this up there because we do have a few options. I do want to let you know exactly what you're going to get, exactly what you can expect. So that's why I wanted to kind of talk about this and break this down, because there's a lot of things going on from a lot of different angles. So first of all, nothing on regular YouTube is going to change. When I started my Patreon/Discord thing 3-4 years ago, there was a lot of people that were, oh great, now you're going to put everything behind a paywall and whatever else, and that's not what happened, and that's not what's going to happen here. This is just I've got 20,000 subs now. I've had a big community on Patreon for a while now. We've got 125, 130 members over there. We have a great community, and that's kind of what spearheaded the YouTube memberships a little bit too. Bowling balls are coming out faster and faster. I know that I've said that I'm going to get to a bunch of comparisons and videos and this and that I haven't actually been able to do. The problem with that is that I kind of have to polish stuff and make it pretty for YouTube, and doing that takes a while. So that's why I haven't, because every time I start getting into comparisons or this or that or the other, videos take several hours to make, to write, to get the footage down, to polish them up, to add all the graphics and the overlays and stuff onto YouTube. And I kind of have to pay attention for the sake of making it worth my time. I do have to play the YouTube game a little bit. I have to pay attention to the likes and the clicks because I want to make stuff that you want to watch. And if I spend a bunch of time making stuff that people ultimately don't end up watching, then that's just stealing time from something else that I could have been making. And since I kind of do have to play the YouTube game, I have to pay attention to what's going to be a high volume video, but that's also going to fit the stuff that I like to put out, which is the more educational, technical stuff. The problem is that, again, I have to spend a lot of time making it presentable or professional for YouTube, because if somebody that's not already a subscriber or a regular viewer just picks some random video out of the air, and it's just something that I sit down and I'm talking over, and there's nothing on the screen, there's no ball picture with the layout, there's no layout information, there's no this, there's no that, or whatever, they're going to look at this and go, oh, that's just low effort, and they're going to move on. And so I do have to make the things that go up publicly on YouTube presentable and professional. So what I've been doing on Discord and through Patreon for the last several years is that it's grown into a big community. We have all kinds of channels, which I'm going to outline that side of it, so that you can still sign up through there. There's some different perks and different things to being either joining through YouTube or joining through Patreon that I will detail here in a minute. But we've had such a great community. They've already gotten a lot of the things. Like, if you've looked at the join tiers so far, we've already done quite a few things that I've done and that I've added to YouTube. We've already been doing that in Patreon Discord for a while. They've already gotten early footage. They've gotten special stuff that you guys haven't seen. We have the public won't see. We talk about things privately all the time. We have several different channels. We have like a dog channel. We have a mental health channel. We have a cooking channel. We have fantasy football leagues. We have all kinds of stuff that I'll talk about in a minute. But we've become protective of the community because we've all gotten to know each other. But we also want to share that and grow it at the same time, rather than kind of keeping it a secret. You notice I don't promote Patreon or Discord very often, because we kind of got the community to a size and member quality that we wanted it, and we didn't want to mess with it. And so I don't really say a whole lot about it. But now that I have so many subscribers, I have my interests split so many different places that I'm doing a really half-assed job at everything. And so doing the memberships is going to allow me to add a lot of things to a lot of you that don't really take the amount of time that a full like public YouTube video takes to put up. I mean, the reviews take all told, the reviews normally take about 15 hours over several days, because we have to drill the stuff, we have to go film the stuff, I have to cut all that down, I have to get my layout pictures and the information and this graphic and that graphic and whatever else, and I have to put it all together, and then I have to adjust things, and I have to pull this footage in and then this picture in and whatever else. And so it's just, it seems like it's something, oh, you just do this and you do this and you do this, but yeah, it ends up again being 15 hours over several days. And even the comparison videos take 5 to 6 hours to get everything put together, and to get everything written, to get the thumbnail done, to add everything and just assemble the video takes quite a bit of time. However, behind the paywall, I can be a lot more freeform. I can be a lot more relaxed. I don't have to worry about clicks and views and whatever else. If somebody wants to see the Night Road compared to the Fate, which will be in that comparison is going to be in the review on Friday anyway. But if somebody wants to see something off the wall, like if you want, hey, just compare this ball to this ball, all I have to do is pull this footage in, turn a microphone on, talk over top of it, and put it up for the members. That takes, I don't know, 15, 30 minutes, whatever, because it's not something I have to worry about assembling and making presentable for YouTube. So all the grandstanding aside here, what I made, so I've, to start with the YouTube stuff that you can see just by clicking the join button. Apparently there's a problem on iPhones. It's an Apple thing, and so you'll probably have to sign up from the disk or from your desktop if you're interested in that. I think that there is a way to kind of work around it on an iPhone. It's probably just best you do it on a desktop if you want to sign up. So I've got the $2 tier, which just includes, so you'll see that some of these people have a bowling ball next to their name on the, like, pull this. Okay. So you see that some of these people have a different colored username, and they have like a little icon next to their username. This indicates that you're a member. So, so basically the $2 tier on here is if you just want to throw me a couple bucks to get some little member perks, to get a different colored name, get an icon, and the icon changes over periods of time. So that's just kind of something that I added for my Patreon members. Mostly, I mean, if you just want to add the $2 thing, so you can say, you know, hey, I'm a member, I got a badge, and I've got some little cool stuff. But it's also kind of for my Patreon members too, so that they have the option, because I can't override something basically. So I've added that just if you want to throw me a couple bucks, get some little swag stuff, just get the member badge, get the different colored name, and there's some emojis, there's some commands you can type into the chat. So the $5 tier includes a bunch of the stuff that my Patreon members already get. So like when I go film for a ball, like I'll cut all the film up and make it manageable. So what I go get we go film, I chop it all down, cut out the dead space. So when I go to make the actual video or the review, I can just take the cut up version and stick the whole thing into the review, rather than having to add the full footage and go through and chop it up while I'm trying to assemble the rest of the review. It just makes it go a whole lot quicker. Plus, I can go on ahead and upload that to YouTube and share it privately on Discord or Patreon. Like, so when I go out and film for a new ball, I'll come back, I'll download the video, I'll get it all chopped up, and then I'll post that there so they can just look at the bowling to get a look at the ball before I actually get it all, you know, cleaned up and prettied up for YouTube. Plus, they get a lot of stuff that you won't ever see publicly on YouTube. They also get input on stuff. Like if I'm stuck on, hey, I'm trying to make a thumbnail and I don't know about this doesn't look right. And so one of the members actually helped with the Fate thumbnail that will be used on the video for Friday. So you be able to get input on, hey, well, I was thinking about doing this video. Would you want to see this, or would you want to see that? Or should I even make this in the first place? So they get a whole bunch of stuff behind the scenes to begin with. So as a $5 member, On the $5 YouTube tier, you'll get a bunch of behind the scenes videos. You'll get early cuts. You'll get comparisons that I don't have the time to make an entire public YouTube video for, that I don't have the time to, add the fluff and pretty it up and whatever else, and stuff that just kind of gets lost by the wayside, because there's a lot of stuff that I wanted to do, such as, say, a reality check versus infinite physics versus RSTX3 video, that just never got in the works, because at this point, everybody's already passed those. They want to see the Fate, they want to see the Zen U. And so I have to make decisions now. It's like, well, I've got to work on those videos, because ultimately, if I spend a bunch of time on this other video, that's going to affect the ones that everybody wants to see now. And I'm probably not going to get a whole lot of views out of that, because just nobody's interested anymore. That's the kind of stuff that I can still go on ahead and put up behind the member paywall, because I don't have to spend the hours and hours and hours prettying it up or making it presentable or professional or whatever else. So you'll get a bunch of that behind the scenes stuff. You'll get extra stuff. We'll have drill streams. You'll get cuts of stuff early. Like the members that signed up on Monday have already gotten to see the cuts of the Fate. They've already gotten to see, I filmed some new Spectre comparison videos. They've already got to see a Fate teaser that I'm putting up on Friday at midnight. They've already gotten to see the video that they've already gotten to see the video that I just put up a few minutes ago. Plus, you'll also get access to one channel on our Discord server, where if you don't want to trade comments with me back and forth, you can tag me and say, hey, I have a question. Can you talk to me? I can hop in there and we can have a live chat back and forth. You can get basically live support, consultation, whatever else you want to call it, just by hopping in that special channel and pinging me, and then we can talk back and forth, rather than you leaving a comment on a video or waiting to ask a question on a live stream, or trying to send me a message on Facebook and hope I actually get the notification or something. So that's what's available on the $5 tier. Now the $10 tier has all the stuff that we already talked about. Plus, you'll get access to our entire Discord server, which is huge, which I'm going to go through actually right now. I'll just go on ahead and tell you. I will go on ahead and actually, I'm going to talk about the stuff and then I'll break down. So you'll get access to the $10 tier is all the same stuff, a bunch of early content, a bunch of extra content, behind the scenes stuff, input on videos, whatever else, plus a special on-demand channel, basically, so that you can chat with me live and ask me questions. I've also got some other people in there. I've got coaches in there, whatever else. We have a bunch of people to, like I said, we have a huge community, and all my Patreon community that's on the $5 tier over there has access to the YouTube channel too. So there's a bunch of people to talk. It's not just like a little echo chamber. You get in there and post one thing, and then the channel goes, or the channel goes dead, or the chat goes dead for a couple days until somebody else asks a question. It's constant in there. Hard to keep up with even. So that's the $10 tier. So the difference between the $5 tier is it gives you all that stuff and one channel in the Discord. The $10 tier gives you access to the entire server with 20 some odd channels and all kinds of stuff, and that I'll explain in a minute. The $15 tier is the top one, and that will give you personal coaching, arsenal advice. And there's an additional channel in Discord where you can ping me and we can have more in-depth technical conversations. It's for more heavy-duty, hands-on coaching, arsenal stuff, rather than just kind of a casual chat and some questions here and there. On the Patreon and Discord side of things, that has been there forever, or for the last, not forever, that we've been doing for the last 3 or 4 years. We have a $5 tier and we have a $12 tier. The $5 tier from Patreon basically gets you all the same things as the $10 YouTube tier, but YouTube takes a bigger cut. So I get less from YouTube than I get from Patreon. And also I can't override it to where the people from Patreon, if they sign up through Patreon, you won't be able to have the YouTube badge and the special colored username and the little icon and the extra stuff that you get through YouTube. I can't give my Patreon members the override. So there's a lot of people that have opted to sign up for the $2 tier so that they can also get the little YouTube perks while also having all the stuff that they get through Patreon. So basically it kind of offsets the cuts that Patreon takes versus what YouTube takes. So to get all the same things, you would have to get all the same things that you get through the tier on, or the $10 tier and the $5 tier on Patreon. To get all the same things, it's either $10 just straight up through YouTube, or $5 from Patreon and $2 on YouTube. So the $10 thing is, yes, it's a little bit more expensive, but you just have one membership instead of having to have the two memberships to get all the same stuff, basically. And then I have a $12 tier on Patreon that is basically the same as the $15 tier on YouTube. You get all the same stuff. Plus, there's an extra top shelf premiere channel in Discord that you'll get access to both. So you'll have the YouTube premiere channel in addition to the regular on demand channel, and then you'll have also the Patreon premiere channel that's inside the Discord. So what's the big deal with the chat server, and why do I not just cancel the Patreon thing and have everybody sign up through YouTube? So if you are interested in just extra videos and like access to me part of the time, and you're not about the chat server life, and you don't want to get involved with all the extra chat server stuff and whatever else, if you want the extra content, if you want priority response to comments, if you just want to see extra videos, the YouTube thing is probably the way to go. You can just pay the $5, get a bunch of extra stuff, all the early videos, a lot of extra videos, interactions, member posts, whatever else. Now, if you're interested in the community side of things, I'm going to break down exactly what you get inside of the private members only side of the Discord. So we have a bunch of things in here. There are a couple things I'm also not going to advertise to because, again, we have a great community. And the thing that I want to stress, first of all, is we're not going to tolerate anybody messing with the community. We've been kind of on the fence about opening this up for a while now because, like I said, it's a pretty good size. We have a really great community. We've all become friends. And so I put it to them a few days ago, thinking about having this idea and saying, you know what, there's plenty of other, you guys all found your way in here. There's plenty of other great people we'd love to have inside the community to grow it, make it better, help other people out, what have you. And so we decided to open it up and to add this stuff. So what we have inside of the our Discord, we have a lot of channels. And again, there's a couple perks and stuff that I'm not going to advertise or talk about. That's just stuff that you'll figure out if and when you join. So we have some regular channels. We have a content feed where every time I post something to YouTube, it automatically goes into the content feed. So it's a more concise kind of video by video type of thing rather than getting onto my YouTube main page and figuring that out, but you have a feed. There are also some roles. There are some channels in there that you don't have to join if you don't want to. There's some that, like the mental health channel that we have, you can opt into that if you want, but you don't even have to see it if you don't want to. So there are a lot of opt-in channels where you can decide, hey, yeah, I'd like to be part of this, or no, I'm good with these channels. I don't want to get into the other stuff. We also have a PC Build Saga channel, which is a few of these are on just the general free side of that, where my community banded together and got me a new editing rig. And they did it all behind my back. They all pitched in, they all chipped in, and that speaks to the quality of this community. So it's not just people giving some guy on the internet a few bucks a month so that we can talk ball stuff. It really is a community, and there's nothing that proves that more than a bunch of people feeling so strongly about the benefit they get from the community than to all pool a bunch of money. And one of the, so we have a bunch of people in there from all walks of life. Some people are on the tech side, some people are on the medical side, some people are on this side, that, and the other. And so not only did they just pool the money to pay for the computer, one of them actually built the computer. So everybody in the community felt so strongly about what they get in there that they were willing to spend a couple $1,000 to all chip in together and spend a couple months getting this all done to give me a new editing computer so that I can make bowling videos on YouTube. So that, I think, speaks to the quality of our community, which is exactly why I don't want to screw with it. But I do want other people, we do want other people like that to join our little group. So we have a main channel called Panda Pack, which is just kind of like the general members channel where we talk about all kinds of stuff, whatever you want to talk about. We do have a channel that we add, or we do have a thread that we added under that specifically so that we could talk about this. And so if you are interested in seeing the level of care and concern that both my members have for me and that I have for my members, or community, friends, whatever else. So this isn't something that said, hey, I want more money, so I'm just going to open this up and you guys are just going to deal with it. We talked about it at length for several days, about how to do this to best benefit the community without opening up to any negativity. So you can create your own threads. So we do have several coaching threads that are in here. If somebody says, hey, I'm trying to work on something, they'll ping. We have several different roles. We have a @coach. So if you put in @coach, it'll tag everybody that's under the coach role, and you'll get somebody to come in and help you out with something interesting. Or help you out with whatever you need help with. We have several different coaches. We have several mods. So you can create a thread under any channel that you want that's more of a specific kind of subset of that channel. We have a dog channel, which is more of a pet channel, but you can post pictures of your pets. So we have dogs, cats, whatever else. Everybody likes to share cute photos of their dogs. And if you're having a crappy day, then you can go in and look at somebody's dog. So we also have a kiddos channel we have several people with little ones. If they want to share pictures of their family or their kids or, babies that are growing up or whatever else. We have a cooking class. So we have kind of a food channel. So from people that go out to eat, I'm sure some people are annoyed by this, but taking pictures of, oh, hey, I was out at this place in Vegas. We have a lot of members that are in Vegas, and one of them works at this really cool brewery called Red Dwarf, and they've got great, Detroit style pizza, and the beer's great. And we actually got to visit there. We visited him while we were at Nationals a couple months ago. And so he can post a picture of the wall of beer that they have there, or the pizza that they have there. Somebody can say, hey, I made this steak for supper tonight, or I can do this. And people can share recipes and whatever else. We also do have a couple channels for other brands. We have a Brunswick channel and we have a Motive channel. This isn't an SPI. This isn't I don't know what to call it exactly, but it's not just if you join because I'm a Storm staffer, all we have to do is just talk Storm. We have Motive staffers and Brunswick staffers in my community. So that also speaks to the level of or the quality of the overall community, is that we have people that have no reason to follow me or have any kind of interest in what I do because they're a Brunswick staffer, they're a Motive staffer, they're whatever else, but they're still a member of the community. Then again, we have a nutrition channel, which is different from the cooking. The cooking channel is just all things good food. The nutrition channel is for a little bit of support if you are on some kind of a diet or whatever else. We have several members that are on that are getting healthier or whatever else, and so they have thoughts, opinions. We don't have any nutritionists in here, so that's accept advice at your own risk, but they just kind of talk about stuff in there. We have an entertainment channel, and we call it entertainment and F1 because we have a lot of Formula One fans in there. We have a lot of music fans in here. We have a guy that is in a couple bands. We have all kinds of people in there, so we can talk movies, music, games, whatever else you want to talk about in the entertainment channel. We also have a bunch of Wordle fans. If you haven't played the word game Wordle, where you have 6 tries to guess a 5-letter word, if you haven't gotten into that, you soon will. So, so we post our successes or our fit. We post a little, you can share, okay, well, this is how my Wordle went today. We also have a Wordle spoiler discussion. That's a thread under the entertainment channel. So you can post after you finish the Wordle for the day, you can post what your guesses were and whatever else. And you can people can talk strategies and whatever else. I have a video channel only. So this is where we have the one channel up there where all the public YouTube videos go, to keep it in its own separate thing. But we also have a channel in here. So just like if I upload to something to YouTube and I set it for members only, it's the same thing as this. This is just a straight feed of every single video that I put in there that I can share. So it's like, okay, we went and filmed for the Fate. When we get the Zen U's, I'll go on ahead and go film for the Zen U. I'll get them cut down. I'll upload them, and then I'll put them in that channel so that you can get a look at the ball before I get the review done or before everybody on YouTube sees it later. Then we have the channel where you can get into the roles that you want to be into. So if you want to be in a certain channel, we have roles for all kinds of stuff. Like if you're a two-hander, or if you like this, or if you like this, or if you you like metal, you can add yourself to several different roles. So if somebody tags the @metal group, anybody who likes metal music will get tagged and say, hey, this is something you might be interested in. Like when Lorna Shore comes out with a new album, you can just tag @metal and all the metalheads will be there. Or if there's something that would be of interest to two-handers, you tag @two-handers and that all shows up. We also have another channel that doesn't get used very often because I haven't had the time to, but I've been writing I've been writing some fantasy books for 2.5 decades now that I haven't gotten anywhere close to keeping up with, but that's there. We also have a bot. We have a channel where we have a bot that automatically pulls in everything from the USBC approved list. So when a ball gets approved by USBC, it'll pull the ball and the ball photo into that channel automatically. So you can pop in there, and like if you were on with us Monday night, you can see, oh, hey, well, we've got some stuff that hit the approved list. It's not announced yet. We don't know whether it's going to be stateside or international, but you can get a look at a lot of cool stuff like the Axiom Stage 2. Let me see. They've got a new Roto-Grip spare ball that's coming out. The Zen U, the Power Solution, Roto-Grip Idle Gold Pearl, Attention Red Pearl, the Physics Power Elite. So we see all this stuff. It automatically populates in this channel. So if something hits the USBC approved list, the bot pulls it over to this channel in the Discord. We also have a voice channel. So every once in a while, whenever we have like PBA tournaments or something of interest going on, we can get in the voice channel and we can have a live audible discussion so we can have like our own little watch party basically in the voice channel. We do have a couple Premier channels, which are only available to the Premier members, whether you sign up for the $15 tier on YouTube or the $12 tier on Patreon. That gets you into that special top shelf channel, which we have a couple coaching threads in there too. We also have a voice channel for that. Then we have a few miscellaneous channels, but of note are the two down there that... One is a Greater KC channel. So basically we have a team double singles tournament here every year in September called the Greater KC Open. If you've been to the Greater Tulsa Open or the Greater Ozarks Open or something like that, it's just a big regional regular tournament. And we had 8 teams last year. We had several people that came from Vegas. We had people from Oregon. We had people from the East Coast. We had people from Chicago. We had people from everywhere, all over the place, that are members of Discord or members of Patreon. We had them all here. They got to see the set. They got to see the stash. We went to my brother's brewery for lunch that day. That's when we had the big stream. If you want to go back and check out the mega stream from the 10th of September, something around there, where we had that big stream where we were in the den at Belton, in Belton, Missouri, at Aaron's Family Fun Center. All those people were here for the tournament. So they always compass that room to let us in there so if you travel from somewhere, we can get in there, we can get practice, you can get a little bit of coaching, we can kind of cut up, we can have some fun. And then we bowl the tournaments. We rented out a room at Jack Stack Barbecue here in Kansas City, and we had it all, we had the catering menu, and it was all fantastic. And then we bowled the tournament again. We just did this is just a huge weekend that we all could get together and have a bunch of fun. And everybody that comes every year says I'll be back every single year. We also have a fantasy football channel where we have an internal a couple of fantasy football leagues. So they're closed for the year. We could always open up a mid-season one or something, but I don't know how that works, so I should probably stop talking. But we already have a couple of members-only fantasy football leagues that may or may not have some perks attached. We also have something called the Panda Pack League, which is a virtual bowling league. So we elect team captains, and then if you want to be a part of the Panda Pack Virtual League, you are picked or you're drafted by these captains onto teams, and all you do is pick one league a week to submit scores from. You submit your scores. You're on a team with several other members here. It's basically like a league. It's just done virtually from everybody submitting scores from all over the country. So that's the basic rundown of all the stuff that I'm going to talk about from the Discord side of things. So it is an entire giant community. There's stuff to keep you busy. There's no way if you didn't have a job and you spent all your time keeping up with everything that was going on in Discord, you wouldn't be able in our Discord, you wouldn't be able to do it. You wouldn't be able to keep up because there's constant activity in all the channels, or 90% of the channels constantly. So like we have in the dog channel, for an example, we have some members that have a corgi. And so they put corgi pictures in there. And we have another one that's got a little Frenchie that he calls Jerk French that he puts in there. We've got some cats in here. We post pictures of our dogs all the time. So basically, run-on sentence, as I've been ignoring the chat, if there's anything going on in the chat. I'll go back and try to answer questions if there's been questions left. If you want more the YouTube experience where you're like, yeah, I'm not into the channels and all the extra stuff, I'm just interested in the bowling stuff, it's probably best for you to sign up for the $5 tier or less through YouTube, because the upper channels on YouTube are more community Discord heavy, where the $5 one gets you all the member badges and stuff. Plus it gets you early access to the videos. It gets you access to the one channel where you can talk directly to me. Have a little bit of the taste of Discord. If you like the community thing, you can always bump up, or you can switch to Patreon, whatever you want to do. But the $5 one is probably the one that I would recommend if you want the early access, the extra videos, all that kind of stuff. If you want the whole community side of everything, you can sign up for the $10 or $15 tier from YouTube, and that will get you access to almost all the channels for $10, and then all the channels plus the top shelf channels for the $15. If you want to sign up from Patreon, if you're more interested in the community heavy side of things, you can sign up for Patreon for the $5. If you don't care about the YouTube badges and the whatever else, you get basically the same stuff through Patreon for $5 as you get through YouTube for $10. It's just you don't get the YouTube, the badge, the little icon next to your name, the different channel, the different username, color, and the kind of the little member perk stuff on YouTube. But like I said, YouTube takes a bigger cut. So And this way, you would, if you sign up through YouTube, you just have to have the one membership versus, hey, if you want the member perks or the member stuff, but you also want the community side of things, you can get that through YouTube for just the one membership rather than having to sign up for Patreon and then add the $2 YouTube thing and have two memberships going on if you don't want to mess with that. So basically, that's the rundown. I'm going to get back into the questions here and see. James is trying to run this thing. And he's also, yeah, everybody's been talking about it in the chat. I appreciate those of you that are here because I know that this is this is just a membership stream and I understand. So I'm thank you very much for those of you that are even watching and entertaining the idea. This is more people than I thought we'd have, so I appreciate it. Lefties Unite. That's the other thing too, is I'm going to switch. I'm not switching hands. Well, I think everybody in the chat has kind of helped out and answered questions and whatever else. So thanks for everybody, help all my mods and James and whatever else helping in the chat. So this is something else that I'm going back to part-time righty because the lefty thing only is demoralizing, especially when I get on tougher conditions and the quality of lefties we have around here. Spencer Robarge and Packy Hanrahan were at the tournament with the regular sweeper that we had on Saturday. So obviously if those guys show up, I have no prayer. And then if the left side is hard, which it was, not only am I not going to beat those guys, I'm not going to beat any of the righties either. And why I switched hands in the first place is that right-handed, I did a couple leagues a week, I did tournaments, and I did filming on top of it, and my shoulder just couldn't handle it. My left shoulder can handle all of it, but the actual bowling side of it is miserable. And so I thought, you know what, if I can go back to doing some of the bowling right-handed, where I don't have to do the filming and I don't have to do all the leagues and I can only bowl some of the tournaments depending on whether I probably should bowl them lefty or righty. I am going to drill some stuff righty. I already did drill a ProMotion. I took that out. I practiced a few times. It feels good. And as long as I don't stress my shoulder, I'll be fine. So for my lefty crew, I'm still going to be doing the vast majority of the reviews lefty. And the ones that I do righty will probably be the ones where we kind of decide between the three of us. It's like, okay, well, do you want this ball or do you want this ball or whatever else? Because I have to use these after the fact. We don't just, so they send me a bunch of stuff for the reviews and then I use them and then dump them and then drill and throw whatever we want to drill and throw. We have to consider actual use after the video because that's really the only kind of compensation I get out of the whole deal. So we kind of decide, okay, well, who wants the ball? And then we make the reviews with who wants the ball. And I don't get everything. So if it's global or low end stuff, those are things that we actually have to wait and order. So that's why usually the global stuff or the low end stuff is only one of us or maybe two of us if we really want something. There will be me and James on the Zen U, for example. But there might be rare cases of a storm ball or an upper line Roto-Grip ball that neither James nor Angel want. And in that case, I would drill both of them. I would drill one lefty and one righty. However, I am going to be drilling a lot of righty stuff. And there's a lot of stuff that would take way too much time to make into videos for YouTube. So there's a lot of extra stuff that's going to go into the members only behind the scenes stuff. Now, what I am going to keep doing for those of you that are here and interested in like, I really don't want to give money to some bowling guy on the internet. I understand. I'm the same way. So I realize I'm asking people to do something that I probably wouldn't do myself. So that's why, again, nothing's going to be affected on regular YouTube. Obviously, I still have to post the regular reviews, and I'm still going just as in depth on those as I always have. We're still going to get the streams. We're still going to do the bowler show on Sunday, and that's actually coming back this Sunday, I think. My co-host has been busy, and there's not been a whole lot going on in the bowling world anyway. We're still doing the breakdown pair on Monday nights. I'm still doing the reviews. I'm still doing the comparison, the main major comparisons that everybody wants to see. I'm still going to be doing all the stuff I'm already doing. It's just that the simplified stuff that I'm able to do behind the members or the paywall, that I don't have to worry about prettying and primping up for YouTube, and I don't have to pay attention to the likes and the algorithm and the all this other nonsense, where I can just kind of focus all that extra time on the content and not have to worry about how many people are going to watch it, or if it's professional looking enough, or whatever else. So I can pump out all kinds of stuff on the member side of stuff. Whereas the YouTube side of stuff, every time I go to make a video, it's kind of an event or an ordeal. So I really have to pick and choose on the YouTube side of things, especially on the public side of things, especially because they keep cranking out bowling balls so fast that I have to move on to the next ball before I've really got more than one or two comparisons out for the previous one. So let me go down and I will check through. So okay, so we're getting the information in here. And again, there is a little bit of difference between what you get for each tier versus here versus signing up on Patreon. But that's just more for the benefit of, if you want more the video heavy side of stuff and you don't really want to talk, you don't want to see people pictures of people's cats or their kids or talk food stuff. If you just want bowling stuff, it's probably better to sign up through YouTube. And if you sign up for at least the $5 tier, you will get one channel in the Discord. And if you happen to get in there and like that, you can always upgrade later. Whereas if you sign up on Patreon, you will still get all the same stuff that you get all the videos and all whatever else. It's a little bit less organized per se. There's a lot more free form, more community based thing than just the hard content angle. So, and if you are going to get into the Discord, or if you want the community side of the chat server thing, you do have to have a Discord account, obviously, but you will also have to link your Discord account with your YouTube account so that you get the permissions that you signed on for from YouTube. So you have to go into your user settings, and then you have to go down to connections, and then there's a list of different Twitch and Instagram, whatever else. I think you have to click the arrow, which will there's more selection. So you got to click the arrow, click on YouTube, then that'll automatically pull up a prompt and ask you which YouTube, if you have several different YouTube channels, which YouTube channel you want to link with your Discord. Obviously, you'll want to pick the one that you signed up to the membership from. Link that to your Discord, then there will be a little button that says join server. So that will put you in the server so that you can see the Discord channels that you're supposed to see based on your level of membership from YouTube. To make it a little bit simpler, if you're not worried about if you want more of the community thing, if the idea of having a lot of the bowling stuff, plus being able to join a virtual league and a members only fantasy football thing, which we call Final Fantasy Football because we're a bunch of gaming nerds. So it's Final Fantasy Football. You can't say fantasy without saying final in front of it. It's just impossible. So it's a Final Fantasy Football League. Or our virtual bowling league or whatever else, so that you can have all the bowling stuff and all the support and be able to create your own threads and ask questions or whatever else, and have a bunch of other bowling nerds like you interact on all kinds of different things and be able to share your expertise. We have programmers on there. We have a couple people that were involved in making some Star Wars video games way back in the day, if you remember, or the Monkey Island games, stuff like that, Star Wars Battlefront. So we have we have a guy in there that designs tech for the military too. So in addition to, he was also the same person who kind of designed 2LS for Storm too. So we don't just have a bunch of bowling nerds in there. We have really intelligent bowling nerds in there that do all kinds of other stuff too, that you can learn stuff from. We got a doctor in there that if so, there's been so many times that people have had a tech problem, or they've had a medical problem, or they had this, that, and the other, and they can just pop in there and ask one of the community for a little bit of their expertise in what they do for a living, or what their profession is, or what their hobby is, or what they do, what they have a large knowledge base about. And so it's way beyond the bowling community. It's way, way past that. So let me try to Panda Pack League. Yep. Let me scroll back down through here. And this is the other thing too, is that on the members side of things, I do have to, I don't mince words. I don't, I don't, I'm always honest. If I say if I feel like saying something, I'm going to say it. It's just, again, the YouTube side of things, I have to be a little bit more presentable. It has to be a little bit more professional, even though we kind of go off the rails sometimes. But on the member side of things, if I'm doing like I'm going to do a members only Fate review. So the Fate review that I put out public has to be structured. It has to be polished, has to be professional, has to be really well put together. But for the members only Fate review, I can dig into a bunch of the nuances. If it takes me 20, 25 minutes to talk about a ball, nobody's going to watch a ball review video that's that long. They don't want to slog through that, especially if some guy's just kind of rambling back and forth. But if I can just turn on a microphone and talk, and I can just run video while I'm talking about it. And if I want to say, while I'm talking, I can say, oh, well, that reminds me of this. I can just, pull that footage, drop that in there, and then keep going. I don't have to, and I can do some of this stuff live too. I can just, like I used to do those interactive comparisons, I can do some of this stuff live where I can just say, oh, okay, well, let's talk about this, which doesn't really, I tried to do that live and that didn't work for YouTube at all, because I get on there and like the phase 4 and I showed like 8 or 9 different comparisons. And I'm like, well, this just took an hour. Nobody's going to watch this whole thing. Then they're going to want me to go back and timestamp. Well, I really only want to see it compared to this ball. Can you get in there and timestamp that for me? It's like, I can't go back. I don't remember where it was. I'm going to have to watch this entire thing. I don't have the time to do that. We're on the member side of things. I can just kind of go through stuff and you can catch up with it. And then you can, instead of having to just drop me a comment on YouTube and see when I get around to it, you can just ping me in the chat and said, hey, well, I want to talk about this. Let's have a discussion. And somebody else might be able to chime in and add some stuff from their perspective or their experience or something. So, and again, you'll have input on the videos too. There's quite a few. Again, I got some help from from one of the members with my Fate thumbnail. I was trying to figure out how to add something a little extra to it, and he got it done. So, okay. BC, thanks, man. Another $5. Look out. Yeah, and we talk about stuff like this all the time. As an after the fact fan, why did you switch to lefty? I wasn't built for getting inside the arc thingy on a basketball court. At least not I mean, if I'm shooting free throws, it's okay. But otherwise, I had a pretty bad shoulder dislocation when I mixed it up with the big dogs, and nobody actually touched me, which made it so much worse. I was trying to be Kobe Bryant, and I'm not Kobe Bryant. So, so yeah, I injured myself, and that the ensuing result was weakness and some soreness and a little bit of pain from bowling righty, and then it wasn't too bad when I was just bowling league and tournaments, but when I started doing the YouTube thing, then there's a crap load of filming that happens all the time, and so I just wore my shoulder down, and it wasn't able to hold up to it, and so I had switched hands several times before to kind of mitigate that, but nothing ever really got any better. So I thought I just have to be to keep bowling and to keep the channel going and whatever else, I just have to switch hands. So that's the story there. Joe Sapansky, the $10 donation, really appreciate that too. And yeah, this is really what again, I could have done this a long time ago, but I don't like asking people on the internet for money. But I've gotten big enough. The channel's grown enough. I have a good enough community on Discord, and that community, through that, has allowed me to do a lot of extra cool things. And it paid for, actually, the one of the months paid for all the perks, or paid for a lot of the perks through the weekend to get that room at the barbecue place. And so that just, it was just us, and it was catered and whatever else. And it actually funds a lot of the stuff. It keeps the channel going, because equipment, drowning in equipment's all fine and good, but it doesn't pay for the, I mean, I already have a full-time job, and this is the second full-time job, plus the drill press in the garage that I have to have, that kind of makes this work. And then all the equipment, the computers, and the whatever else. And so whether you guys know it or not, that have been just watching videos casually for the last several years, my Patreon and Discord community has been the ones that keep that happening. So I probably would have quit a year or two ago, because it's just very time and financially prohibitive. But they're the ones that have kept this going for everybody. I've just been afforded the opportunity to keep doing it myself, because of what they've done and the support that they've given and provided. And of course, there's plenty of support just from watching the video. You're helping me out. But they've offered the extra backbone that has really kept driving a lot of this. So I had cuff surgery 6 months ago and just got cleared to start practicing again. Yeah, so the story here is that I had stolen the ball and got on a fast break for a white guy. And I'd stolen at the top of the key. I was going up. And I saw a teammate that was kind of trailing a little bit. So we were just playing a pickup game. I was 25 or 26 or something, a long time ago. And I went to fake the layup right-handed. And then I had a defender on me. And so I was going to fake the layup and then scoop it under and around to my teammate. The only thing was, I did it so quickly and violently that on this motion, my shoulder just popped out, and it ended up 6 inches the wrong direction behind where my pec would be if I had a pec. And it was like that for 45 minutes or whatever before they finally got it set back. And although I didn't really tear I didn't need surgery, but I lost a lot of strength. I rushed my rehab. And then when I got back to bowling, I was playing basketball again within 3 weeks, which was a terrible idea, because it was loose. My joints are loose to begin with. I dislocated a toe stepping off of a curb one time. Nothing happened. And again, nobody touched me on the basketball thing. I just faked the layup and went under, and it just popped out. So I rushed my rehab, and when I got back to bowling, that's where the funky little twisting wing thing came from, because I didn't have the strength to throw it normally like I used to. And so I started pulling it with the backside of my shoulder, and then that got ingrained there. And then it never really got, it didn't really hurt, but it never got a whole lot stronger. And then when I started doing the filming, that's when it started to hurt and get sore and cause me problems. Thanks once again, Mr. Joe and Mr. BC, for the extra donations. Thanks for all the great things that everybody's saying in the chat. So we do have to get the Nerf gun stuff back out. So anyway, that kind of wraps it up. I'm not sure if I have anything else to add. If you have joined late, probably just cycle back through and listen to everything. If you're interested, thank you for being interested, even watching this and considering it in the first place. Very cool of you. Fate review on Friday. You don't have the Zen Use yet, so that review is probably next weekend. So anyway, yeah, I think that's about it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for considering this. All the details are in there. I've talked about everything already, so I won't extend this extend this video any further. So thanks once again to all I say it in my videos, but thanks to my Patreon and Discord members. Thank you for wanting to open it up to more people to join our community. Once again, very low to zero tolerance for shenanigans. We do like shenanigans, but just not disruptive shenanigans. So as long as your shenanigans are going the same direction as everybody else's shenanigans, we're fine with that. But we don't want any disruption, toxicity in our community. And because this is a community we've had for so long and that's been so great, that's just not getting messed with. So that's preserving that is preserving or enhancing that is of the utmost importance to us. If you have any questions or having issues connecting to Discord or getting your permissions there, we're still setting that up because I just added that $10 tier here recently for an extra option to get. Originally, we were going to have the YouTube members and the community members, but we've already had some really cool people join through YouTube. And so we thought, you know what, instead of making somebody sign up here and then sign up here, we'll just kind of change things a little bit so that you can get full community access, full server community access just through YouTube. So you have the one membership and it's all taken care of. So thanks a bunch, everybody. I'm going to go find some food because I'm hungry. Most of my members are in the chat talking about stuff. So thank you once again. I'm terrible at signing off. I need to take lessons from the FEF. So that's it for this. Thanks everybody for showing up. Thank you for considering this in the first place. And again, no worries if you're if you don't have the money, don't want to give money to a bowling guy, you're not interested in the other stuff, you're fine with what I do, just keep watching the videos. That's cool. I get it. I appreciate it. Glad you're here. So this is just extra. Nothing's changing. I'm not reducing anything. I'm not changing things to behind the paywall. It's just business as usual from the public side of things. This is just extra for everybody that wants it. So thank you very much. Yes. May the strikes be with you.